All righty, ladies and gentlemen, Lee Cole here. Thelma, how are you? Bill, Tom, and I think I saw Akon here and see lots of cool people. Hope y'all are doing great. Aaron, Elias. Yeah, Stephen. Aloha, my friend. I hope you're staying safe over there in paradise. Got lots of cool people. And Gloria, say hello to everybody. It's been a while since we've done a webinar.
It has been. It's been a couple of years. Hi, everybody. Glad to be here.
You know, I've missed this a lot.
Me too. Yeah. I don't
Heike,
miss the
how are
webinars.
you? Robert? Uh, So number one, let's make sure somebody tell me yes, 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 no, whatever. Can you see and can you hear? Can you see and can you hear? So I got one yes, two
Mhm.
yeses. Trevor, how you doing, buddy? Trevor, by the way, we're not having the mastermind today. Hope you got alerted to that. Yes and yes, we're good to go. So Gloria, you're going to tell everybody literally mind-blowing stuff, but I got to set the table here, guys. I just got to set the table and brag about Gloria a lot. So we're sitting here on my these are my posts in LinkedIn, right? See my picture there. There I am. And let's just refresh this so we get totally current numbers. Of course, posting on LinkedIn is a really good thing, right? I mean, you get a lot of people, theoretically, well, Gloria, you used to get a lot of people seeing your stuff, right? But the whole point of this webinar is not so much anymore, except
Right.
you've solved that problem amazingly well. So guys, you see this post right here, how to do all your social media marketing in 2 minutes per day. I literally just posted this 30 minutes ago. I've got 70 views, 15 comments, and looks like I got 12 likes. And that's pretty good. Now, this is brand new. I mean, I literally just posted this. Okay, so it's growing. And so keep that one in mind. All right. And then we got some others that didn't do so well. 13, I did that one yesterday. 19. And these are just things that I was reposting or posting that I found interesting. Thing about a video I did, 22. And Gloria, I would say these, I have no idea what that is. I would say these numbers right here, the 19 and the 22, nowadays in LinkedIn's world with the algorithm changes you explained to me, I
Mhm.
would say this is pretty par for the course, right? For something like this. You know,
Mhm.
unless somebody's really got something in their back pocket, which is what we're talking about. Here's
Right.
one that got 33 views. And now, are you ready for this one? Now, this one I posted Friday, actually 3 days ago, so that would be Friday.
Mhm.
2,563 views, 32 comments, 21 likes. So I got this new one that's already got 70 views. I got this one from 3 days ago. Don, we're going to get all into that. Gloria's going to explain that whole thing. Who will? It's a great question. Who will see the post, Gloria?
Mhm.
Uh, but now, amazing post views, and this did not happen by accident. Let me just point something out. And guys, you know, we're all working at home. We're all stuck, and everybody else is stuck here with us. So, Hank, I just did feed the damn dogs. My point is, I got a couple of rescue dogs, right? It is what it is. We're just gonna have to deal with them. They don't know about the coronavirus. But anyway, the big question is, what did I do differently here? And also this other one, this one's going to be big too. I can
Mhm.
already tell. What did I do here and with these two that I didn't do these two? And Keon, yeah, we're talking about getting more comments, getting more views, all of that stuff. Gloria, you want to tell everybody how this thing happens? Let's
Yep.
send the let's guys, we're gonna show Gloria's screen instead of mine. And we're gonna cover this whole thing, and it is being recorded, so if you you know, got to check out or something like that, you know, feel free. I'll send out the recording. But Gloria, you should be
Yep.
There we go. Okay, so
There we go.
Gloria, tell
Well,
us how
hi.
all this magic is happening.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm really excited to. Can everybody see my screen and hear me all right?
Well, I can.
Okay,
Trevor says yes.
okay, excellent. As you notice, Lee and I are practicing safe social distancing on the screen. I purposely made our pictures far enough apart so that we've got the right distance between us, right? So that we're not going to be
Yeah, not
contagious.
only that,
We
but
did
you're in Texas and I'm in Georgia, so I think we're okay.
Exactly. I only say that because I saw something where, McDonald's and a couple other big brands are actually like for the M, how it's together. They are doing a new logo with the M, half of the M apart. It's apart to signify the safe social distancing. So I was just doing this just as a joke. So, yeah, yeah. So, well, I want to say thanks so much, Lee. You're right. I miss doing this. We haven't done this in years. And for those that don't know me, just a quick story, if you would just, humor me for a few minutes. How I met Lee was was on Lee's list and I bought a product from him. I think it was back in 2011 or 2012. I followed the instructions and that product got me a client, a $4,000 a month client back in the day. And that client, was my client for like 2 years. So it made me like $100,000. And I reached out to Lee and I just want to say, Lee, not only is this stuff fantastic, but he is, just a person of great integrity. And so what he says, man, listen to, because if it wasn't for Lee, I wouldn't be here doing this webinar with you today. So I just really want to thank you. Really,
Well,
really thank you.
that thank you so much. That's just so kind of you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. So excuse me while I get a drink of water. So hi everybody. For those that don't know me, my name is Gloria Gunn. I am one of the co-founders of a marketing automation company called Beep2B. I started that with my business partner, Mike, and this was back in about 2014, 2015, and we've been going ever since. And since then, we've opened a managed services business where where the Beep2B was doing more of the do-it-yourself type of model. We've opened up Linkshore, which is more of a managed service model. And so I kind of want to preface this a little bit by saying when I opened up my agency it's been about 18 months, maybe a year and a half, something like that ago. And when I first started, what I did is I helped people with their LinkedIn strategies and then, created messaging and targeting and stuff like that and helped them get leads and opportunities and things like that on LinkedIn. And what I found happening was that it was no longer effective. If it was effective, I would still do it because it is much easier for me as an agency owner and as a service provider to just create messages and, do targeting and just kind of send people on their way. I have a campaign manager, he manages all for us, but that doesn't work anymore. And so what it forced me to do is it forced me to develop some changes in how we deliver services in our agency. And it has to do with what Lee was showing you a little bit earlier on the screen. And so what we found that is actually working on LinkedIn, I was, just to kind of give you an idea, the old way when LinkedIn was really seriously changing, I had about a 90-day churn rate on my clients. Since I've changed this methodology, I have 0 churn rate. I lost one client. It was because their company got acquired by a bigger software company. And so the new company came in and they were just reevaluating their vendors. The VP of sales was like, no, we do it our way. This is the new game. But that was the only reason. So it was not because it was not working. It was because of an acquisition. So what I'm about to show you today is what's working. It's what I've done to make sure that my clients get maximum level of services and that they get opportunities and things like that. So why did I have to make the change? Why did I have to kind of revamp my entire strategy? It's really because of this. Let me go ahead and click. It's because we live in an attention economy. And if you think about it, it is so true. There's so much infobesity, I call it, out there, right? There's so much noise that we have to set ourselves apart because we don't have a lot of time. If you look at this where it says Fortune magazine down here says attention has become the most valuable world currency. It's not really money, but attention. If you don't believe me, just ask the Kardashians who go out and they'll post something, a post on Instagram, and they'll make millions of dollars because of the influence and the attention they get. Now, I'm not saying that we all need to be like the Kardashians or anything like that. I'm just simply pointing out that attention is really what does it today, and we have to gather the attention of our ideal customer prospects. If not, then we're just going to be invisible to them, right? And the reason why it's gotten so busy, our decision makers, our ideal customer prospects, you know, they don't have much time. They just got a few seconds, a few minutes, and they want information that they can consume in small bits that really they can learn something from. That's really what it's about. They want insights, and they measure everything. They don't really do things that don't make sense. So what we need to do is we need to provide that type of information for them, right? The way that we sell has really changed. We went from selling products or product-based selling solution in the 1970s. We worked our way into solution-based selling and then consultative, then relationship. Well, now it's attention-based selling. You can't even do those other things unless you gather their attention, right? So how do we go about doing that? And if we think that it's just one particular industry, it's every industry. You see all sorts of information being consumed, whether it be consumer goods or communications or media, Internet of Things, it doesn't matter. It's all about gathering the attention of that ideal customer target in that space so that they will basically take notice and go, that's interesting. That's very interesting. That's something new. That's what we want, right? And it's not just local. It's not just in my town. I'm in Central Texas. Lee's in Atlanta. It's not just in America. It's not just in Canada. It is all over. Now, you can read these stats, but the one that's most interesting to me is the 86 number. And you can replace that word enterprises with your ideal customer prospects. You know, your target market, whatever you prospects, leads, whatever you want to call it. 86% of them become aware of a vendor, and we're a vendor. We're trying to provide we're trying to sell something to somebody. So we're a vendor in that instance due to thought leadership, AKA content. And that's from LinkedIn. That's what they're saying. 86% of businesses are becoming aware of us vendors due to our information that we're putting out. So if we're not that 86% and we're the other 14%, where does that leave us, right? Not in a very good place. So we want it, the goal is to become that 86%. And what we need to do, you know, kind of if you look here to the left, I would say it's almost like a traditional kind of sales model, right? You've got lead gen, you've got, you know, marketing, all that type of stuff. We've got to intertwine this content in there that provides value, provides insights, it differentiates us from our competitors, proves why we're the right choice, all those things, and we don't have a lot of time to do it right. We have to become thought leaders. We have to provide content that separates us from our competition. And this is what a thought leader is, because I know some people think, oh my gosh, I've got to sit there and I've got to blog and I've got to do this and do that. Not really. Thought leaders are informed opinion leaders in their field of expertise, all right, to their ideal customer prospects. We don't really care about anybody else other than the people that we might be able to sell something to, really. And that's all we're trying to target here and try to capture the attention of. So it's really just a matter of putting information out there that your ideal customer prospects are interested in consuming, and it's really that simple. And Lee, if you have anything, feel free to just jump in. Any questions, just let me know. So, you know, attention is something that our ideal customer targets, ideal customer prospects only have so much of. They want insights, they want it anywhere, they want it on their phone, they want it on their tablet, they want it on their desktop, they want us to provide value, they want to deal with people that they perceive to be thought leaders, and that's just really the bottom line. And so what that requires for us is to be a little bit different. We've got to think a little bit strategically here, but we've got to act tactically. We have to become that person of influence in the eyes of our ideal customer prospects. And it's all about content. We know that content is well proven as a marketing strategy. We know it builds credibility. We know it builds trust. We know it leads to more sales. We know that more trusted experts say that, if you're not in the content game or content space, then in a couple of years, as things get noisier and noisier and noisier, you're going to get drowned out, right? And so we know that, but people always often say, where do I focus? Do I need to become a blog writer and, try to build out this blog? What do I have to do? And my short and sweet answer is LinkedIn. And that's all there is to it. LinkedIn is fast becoming a mega B2B content highway, if you will. And that's where all the business is happening. So we found a way to do it on LinkedIn very easily to position our clients as thought leaders. And I'm going to show you how today. So why is it effective and how is it effective on LinkedIn? So if you see that I've got a picture of two twins, so let's just tell you a little bit of a story, right? We've got twin A in the dark tie and we've got twin B in the red tie. Let's say that these represent two people on LinkedIn that have similar profiles, similar levels of experience. They're in the same space. So say I was looking for an accountant and I did my search on LinkedIn and I saw these two people. Their profiles were, one was on top, the one was right underneath. The guy in the dark tie was on top. The other one was right below, the red tie gentleman. And I went to look at their profiles and they look, pretty much the same. They kind of have the same amount of experience. They, have the same level of schooling. Really, I can't differentiate that much about them just by looking at their profiles, right? So the only way that I could differentiate one from the other is by the content that they put out that educates me on, what does this person do over that person? So if we were to say the red tie gentleman actually did have some content, I looked and I said, I see he's talking about, this accounting principle or that accounting principle. It makes sense. And the blue tie gentleman didn't. The question is, it's a matter of trust. Who would you be more inclined to use, right? Probably the guy that provides the information that I learn a little bit from, the one that I can get a feel. Who is that person? What is he about? What does he know? All those types of things. Do I know, like, and trust? All those types of things. And that's exactly why this content bit is so important. That is exactly why when I started implementing it with my client strategies, it literally just flat out worked. And it's very effective. So, if you think about it, it makes sense, right? When was the last time you bought something seriously? I'm talking about a B2B type of purchase without having to do a little bit of research or, you really don't buy something just with an ad or something like that. You have to have some information to back it up. And that's precisely why this content game is so important. It just really comes down to trust, right? And because here's what's happening. Whenever you say send a message or something like that that's not backed up with any information, and I'm talking about, what a lot of people are doing on LinkedIn is just kind of setting blind messages and stuff. Their lizard brain, the recipient of that communication or that message is actually going through this process. And they're trying to justify, should I talk to them or should I not talk to them? What's this person about? Does it make sense for me to take the time to talk to them? Are they really capable of helping me? Will I learn something new? Will this benefit me or my business in some way that it's not a waste of my time? So you kind of have to go through all these gates before somebody's willing to have a serious conversation with you, as us being a vendor and them being an ideal customer prospect, right? And so content will help answer these questions for us so that we don't have to, fight and vie for attention that we're not going to get. Hopefully, is that making sense? Am I getting people resonating? Are they making sense? Is it?
People are resonating, people are commenting, guys, and I see tons of great comments and many questions, but let's do this. Gloria, you're on a freaking roll. Just keep going. We're guys, many of you have been on webinars with me and us before. You know how it works. I see a lot of new people. Thank you so much for showing up. We will get to everything. By By the time we're done, we will get to everything, okay? So keep going, Gloria.
Okay, fantastic. So yeah, so here's what what will it buy you posting content on LinkedIn? There's two things really fundamentally. It's you're going to be able to gain visibility. You're going to be able to gain reach and exposure that you wouldn't normally be able to do. We say like Richard Branson type of content. Again, we're only worried about your ideal customer prospects. You don't have to be Richard Branson. You just have to be known with your content. I have literally been on appointments with people and they had told me, they said, you are the 5th LinkedIn person that has reached out to me. I've seen your stuff. Guess what? I'm talking to you. That's what they said. That's what one person said to me. Another person said, I've seen your stuff. And it made the sale. I was actually shocked because I did my little thing. And at the end, I was like, so do you want to just go for it? He's like, yeah. And I was thinking, this is way too easy. You're supposed to have questions. You're supposed to, put some armor up here. And that didn't happen because of the content that I had out. So it's going to make you visible to your ideal customer prospects. And then it's going to make it easier to get new business because of those things that I showed you earlier, that whole lizard brain scenario, right? It helps answer those questions, and that know, like, and trust factor goes in. It's almost like you're getting a warm lead coming in. I don't know if any of you have been able to get business as a result of content. It's like getting a referral, actually. So that's a little bit about what it'll do. It'll gain you visibility, and it'll make it much easier because it helps answer those questions for you. And then in addition to that, we have a situation on LinkedIn where the LinkedIn algorithm has changed. So this happened, I think, like in 2017 or something like that, back in the day, and it was so great. Let me go ahead and just do this. Sorry about that. I guess we're a little bit full. So what happened back in the day was it was almost like the Twitter feed, where your news feed on LinkedIn would be basically, it would be first come, first serve. It would be time based, just like Twitter. You keep posting, you end up at the top of the heap, right? But what happened with LinkedIn is they switched that from, instead of being time based, it went to being relevant based. And how does LinkedIn know whether your content is relevant or not? Does anybody want to guess what makes LinkedIn think or believe that your content is relevant, AKA it's interesting to people?
Let's ask the audience. What do y'all think? Trevor says keywords. Rick says engagement. Mark says algorithm. Engage, trending. By the way, guys, just as a little side note, be glad that you got here early, because I keep getting all these little pop-ups that say the webinar is full, no more attendees allowed. So you did good. What do you think about all those answers?
Yeah, it is engagement. And so LinkedIn, see, here's the rub, or the dirty little secret. It is all about advertising dollars. And I'll show you in just a second on the news feed. If you look at the left to your news feed, you're going to see, a promoted post inside your news feed, kind of like you do in Facebook. And then you're going to see some areas where advertising can happen on the right sidebar of your LinkedIn news feed. And so what LinkedIn is trying to do is they're trying to make their platform, a place where people want to do a lot of ads, just like Facebook is a place to do ads, right? And the only way they can do that is by getting eyeballs in the news feed. And the only way they can get the eyeballs on the news feed is if that content is interesting, relevant, people respond to it, people engage with it, right? And so what LinkedIn has done is they changed their algorithm. Instead of making it time-based, they made it relevant-based. And how they know it's relevant is how people engage with it. And so they actually, and this is published like on their engineering blog, I think it's called the flywheel or something like that. But how it works is this: you have a couple of gates that your content has to pass before it actually gets kind of put out in the wide open for LinkedIn. So what'll happen is when you submit, and this is an answer as to why some posts get very few views and stuff like that, is you submit your post, LinkedIn is going to scan it for spam. This is an automated process, and for relevance. And if it's not spam related, they're going to go, we'll see how this does. We're not sure. Maybe it has legs, maybe it doesn't. What we'll do is we'll just display it to a small subset of the network, and we're going to test it out. And they do this with every post. And if that small subset of the network responds, then what we'll do, and that's a signal to LinkedIn that people are engaging with it. This is an interesting piece of content. Then they will extend it and expand it to a wider audience, a wider network. And that algorithm works by, there's a downwind effect by the commenting. There's the algorithm comes into play with, who you're actually engaging with in messaging and all that type of stuff as well. So that's really what it is, this 4-step process. And so what we do is we help in those steps of the process to ensure the maximum number of views, basically. So not only do you have to post great content, but even if you post great content and you don't work with LinkedIn's algorithm, then what'll happen is that great content really will only get shown. It usually stops at like step 2. Okay, so hopefully that's making sense, and I'll answer questions and do a show and tell at the end. All right, so we think that, oh, we just have to post really great content, but it's not all about that. And so what we've done is we've created this this system, I guess you can say. It's called Beep Together. And what Beep Together does is it actually works with this. Right in this gate, we have the liking and the commenting and the engagement. And so it bumps it up to, that higher level, to where you get, like, we've got people in Beep Together that's getting their posts trending. My posts have trended in hashtag thought leadership and stuff like that. Really easy to do. But what it does is we actually help your post along, and then your post actually does better. And because it does better and gets more, more engagement, it'll get more views across your network. And who, depending on who you're engaging with on LinkedIn as a whole, it could be your company page, messaging and stuff, that comes into play, as well as just the people that will actually start seeing your content. All right, so we have this method called the Beep Together program, and what it does is it does this influence sharing, which I'll explain in a little bit. So what's not working on LinkedIn is messages that have 0 value add, and starting too soon with an ask, like sending a message, and that first message is, let's have a meeting, this is what I do. And really I want to kind of, those vanity network numbers, because really what we want is we want opportunities, right? And so what this does, and I'll show you a post that Shirley, one of the ladies I work with, she did a post and she got 2 appointments. You'll see the appointments right in the post. I'll show that to you, where she's getting, posts. I mean, she's getting appointments just from her post and stuff like that in the comments, where people are saying, please meet with me. So that doesn't work. And what's really working is, like I had mentioned, the thought leadership positioning, reaching out with value with your content, short, insightful bits of content, because attention economy, people don't have time to read these long, drawn out things. So we found these little short kind of bite-sized posts, micro content tends to do really good. Customer-centric content does really good. If you want to know what type of content you should post on, just figure out what type of questions would my ideal customer prospects, my customers, have of me. And then if you're not sure, just Google, like, for example, I was helping somebody that was in the restaurant business, and I did a search, biggest pain points that restaurant industry shares, and it gave me like 10 of their biggest pain points, and then you can do further research and find out, specifics on that. So that's the type of content that you want to do that actually gets you noticed, right? So how do you do that? Well, what you want to do is you want to start with that posting. And then, if you want to do something and kind of extend that posting, start your relationship off with content, and share that content, nurture that relationship with content. I'm not sure if this would help you, but some of the other folks that I've been working with have found this post really useful. For all it's worth here, you know, something that simple. You just want to let your network know that you're there, who you are, and that you add value. And then you let those little micro posts kind of speak for themselves. So hopefully that's helping. So how do we earn the right to meet? I like to, and I've said this for years, Lee, you've probably heard me say this before, I think of LinkedIn as whining and dining versus speed dating. And so, you know, that's how we,
Yes,
that's how
I
we
have
want.
heard that.
Oh, is it really?
No, you've said the versus speed dating for like years now.
And it's more relevant now than ever, I think, because LinkedIn, you know, when we first started, gosh, it was so easy to get appointments just like that,
Yes.
without really doing anything. And it's really, really changed.
Well, it was a little speed dating-ish back in the day, you know?
It was. It is now. I mean, it's like high end. You know, the speed dating is almost on steroids because it's, you used to be able to get. Excuse me, the whining and dining is almost on steroids, and you used to
Right.
be able to get away with a little bit of speed dating, but it's getting very, very few and far between to find on LinkedIn now. So, so that's what I kind of, if you think about it, it's a little bit of slower process, but it's an education process. And if you use it correctly, that you can really educate people to what it is you do and set yourself apart from your competition. I mean, there's nothing greater than people finding you when they're searching for, you know, your competition because of the information that you put out there. So what do you need to implement and execute it? You need, you know, a smart strategy, which we'll go ahead and we'll share with you how this all works. Intelligent automation, which we've got covered, and then content, which we'll share that with you as well. And here's how it works in practice. You post your content, and then each week Beep Together shares the post. We get together 3 times a week, and it's all automated. We'll show you exactly how it happens. You will go through this process. It takes about, Lee, how long does it take you? About 15, 20 minutes?
To go through the whole thing?
Well, to actually do the liking and the commenting and stuff like that, it takes me about 20
Maybe. I mean, you know me, Gloria. I get this stuff down to a mindless science. I just open up all those things. It takes me, I'll time it. It's 10 minutes.
Yeah. It takes me about 20 minutes. Like you say, it's just a very fast process. And then what you do is, as you are doing that, everybody else in that pod or that posting party will go ahead and do the same with your content. And so it's really sharing.
I've been explaining this to people, you know, like Luke and, you know, guys, Luke is my son, he works for me. But I've been explaining this to people by saying it's basically automation meets crowdsourcing.
Yeah, that's it exactly. I love it.
Basically what this is, automation meets crowdsourcing.
Yeah, that is it exactly.
Carry on.
Yeah. So what happens is, in that automation meets crowdsourcing situation, is you're going to get views just like Lee had shown you, as you know, 10, anywhere from 5. I say 5, 5x, but I've never seen it, you know, as low as 5x. I've seen as high as 30x. I've seen people getting views that were in the hundreds. We're now getting 7, 8, 9, 10,000 views. You know, I've seen that as well. There's some tricks for doing that type of thing. So your typical results are going to be anywhere from 10 to 30 times more views than if you didn't do this. And what that does is, because the way the algorithm works, and if you're active on LinkedIn and you're reaching out to people, people that you're reaching out to end up seeing your news feed, seeing your post in their news feed, excuse me. And there's a downwind approach as well, where like, say for example, Lee posted something and I commented. Well, now what's going to happen is all of people that are going to be in my network are going to see, you know, Gloria has just commented on Lee's post, trying to drive more eyeballs. So you get that kind of downwind effect in your notifications, if that makes sense. So that's really how it happens to get those thousands of views. This is a little bit old. you can see, sorry, it's a little bit blurry. I should have probably made that a little bit smaller, but you know, we had 23 likes, I think 17 comments and 2,100 views, something like that. I had a Slack group a while ago, and you can see some of the results. We were just starting out with kind of a predecessor to the Beep Together. It was a manual process that I had going, but you can see we've got 1,124 views, 1,465, 1,077, 33 likes, 55 comments, 2,200 views. You know, stats were up, you know, all that type of stuff. So everybody, I don't know anybody who has done this that has not experienced a significant uptick in views like this. Have not. At all, everybody. So this is, I don't even think, Lee, that it's 99%. I think it's been 100%. I have not literally met anybody that it doesn't work with. So really the fundamental questions are, by positioning yourself with content, how many more opportunities could you actually attract? You know, just some questions to think about. How many more sales would that lead to? And what would that be worth it to you, right? So I think those are the fundamental questions. And so really, whether we like it or not, this thought leadership selling era is upon us. And, you know, are we going to be ready to embrace it and go for what's next? And, you know, if you want this to be the beginning to start your story, we can make that happen. I guess this would be a great time for questions or anything, comments, Lee?
Yeah, so Gloria, you do this through software, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Which you might created. And we're going to talk all about, answer all these questions. Diane, that's a great question. I've had that several times. We'll talk all about that. But really, Gloria, you and Mike have been selling limited access to this platform for a while now for monthly payment, right?
Yes, exactly.
And guys, this whole thing happened is that's a great question, Matthew. We'll hit that one too. This whole thing happened really because of the coronavirus, you know, because Mike, Gloria's partner, whom I know very, very well, is just like really super guy, was just sitting around thinking, well, how can he help businesses? As a lot of us, you know, are thinking about this, right? You know, he's sitting around thinking, well, how can he help businesses? And so, Gloria, you and Mike are making people an amazing deal on this software. How much do you normally sell this software for monthly?
Yeah, so normally it's $49 a month.
Which frankly, guys, $49 a month for this power, you should be asking where to pay and where do you send your firstborn, right?
Yeah.
And but it's not $49 a month at the moment, is it?
No, it is not. It is $99 for a single year. And the amount of influence that you're going to be able to get, the training portal, I'll have to log into the training portal to show you what's all in there. And
we're going to show you everything, guys, but let's do this. Gloria, let me take back the presentership.
Yep.
Hang on a minute. Don't worry, folks. I have actually done this before. Okay. Now, all right. So we're back on my computer. Everybody can see. I am the webinar is full, right? I am going to put a link in here now. Let me show you what happens with this link. Today, you can get this amazing software. We're going to open up the software. We're going to show the whole thing to you. I know Gloria's basically told you what it does, and we're going to show you all about how it does it and all that stuff. So don't worry, all questions will be asked. And ignore my rescue dog. They're not used to the coronavirus. But anyway, so I just popped a link into the chat. Matthew, I'm just going to use you and send the link to you and via you send it to everybody else. If you click on that link, then you will go here. All right. And this is just a little, tells you a little bit about what you just heard, okay? Click this where it says Beep Together. you're going to go to the now Beep Together is the name of the software. You're going to go to the Beep Together website, and then you will click here to sign up. Now I want you to notice something. Notice this is not $49 a month. This is $99 a year, which, Gloria, I mean, that's insane. I mean, you know, $49 is $50. It's like $99 instead of $600, right?
Right, yeah.
This is a massive, massive, massive discount. It's like a, you know, 80 some odd % discount. Guys, I'm not telling you, well, no, I am going to tell you what to do this time. I usually don't tell people what to do. I just, you know, say if you want to do it, go do it. But this time you should literally be falling all over yourself to do this. Now, the checkout is through Stripe. You're going to put it on your credit card, right? But if you have any questions with any of that, just hit me up or Gloria. We will walk you through the entire process. So that's how you buy this, and you need to buy this today, okay? Now, Gloria, shall we get to Q&A?
Sure. Yeah, let's go ahead and get.
What should we do next? Because we got like 40 million questions sitting here waiting on us.
Yeah, let's definitely.
Well, I'm going to do Q&A backwards instead of going back to the top. I'm just going to do it backwards, and we'll see how, you know, we'll just try to answer all these questions.
Yeah.
Keon, does the software increase comments?
No, it's not it's not where it, like you have a bot that makes fake comments or anything like that. What it does is it's an automated system, and it is, I think Lee explained it beautifully. It's an automated system, but it's backed by people power. And so you're actually, and these are people that are like, this is our community at Beep2B, our software community. We've got other digital marketing agencies. We've got serious businesses that are all a part of the Beep Together. So you've got a situation where you are getting real people, real business people that are engaging with your content. If you think that doesn't make a difference, it really does. It's not only, you know, just putting content out there and getting likes and stuff like that and comments, but it's actually the quality of the people that are engaging with you. And if you don't believe me, see how well we do with getting, you know, like a bunch of people from, say, Bangladesh comment on your content. It just won't get, you know, you're only getting so visible, you know. So
Gloria, let's do this. Let's just answer the comments question by looking through my posts. Okay, so. Yes. This right here, see where my mouse is? That's a post that I did literally about an hour ago using the software. I got 24 comments and right now 105 views. Okay, now these next few posts are done without the software. Okay, 0 comments, 0 comments, 0 comments, 0 comments. And then this next one was done with the software, 32 comments. 2,500 views. So, you know, it's not commenting in a machine way, right? I mean, it's not just, you know, doing that, but it is crowdsourcing real human beings to comment. And Gloria, so what you said, if I understand this correctly, well, let's just open up these comments. Okay, so when Enrico comments, right? Then all of Enrico, you know, then Enrico's going to get one of these little, all of Enrico's people are going to get one of these little notifications up here on the top right. Enrico commented on something. Hang on, Doug, it's actually both. You know, Enrico comments on something, and then you get even more people coming in to see your post and to potentially comment on your post who are not part of the crowdsourcing platform. So Keon, the answer is no, it doesn't do it automatically in a sense of, you know, like we're kind of used to doing it, but it actually does it in the right way. It actually gets real human beings to comment more on your posts. So the final answer, Keon, is yes, it does increase comments, as you can see, dramatically. Yeah, and by Matthew, you're absolutely right. If you were doing any kind of automated, you know, contents or store-bought contents or anything like that, LinkedIn's going to find that out in about a New York second, just shut the whole thing down, right? I mean, your account, you're going to lose your account. Doug, this is software and a crowdsourcing platform. So, I mean, we'll show you inside the software in a minute. So Heidi says, if there are comments, do more people see it besides the people that comment? Yes, Heidi. So like I said with Enrico, if Enrico comments, then all of Enrico's people, people that Enrico's connected to, right? Then they get a notification that Enrico commented on blah, blah, blah. So Heidi, absolutely. So it has a multiplicative effect.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see what else we got. Rick, I'm not sure if I understand. Does it auto post to the others, or do they have to approve the posting? I'm not sure. Do you understand that?
That's a fantastic question, because it goes to post quality, because LinkedIn does not want to see a bunch of kind of spam type of content, right? And they'll devalue that. And in order to keep the views as high as possible, what we do, and we were like vetting, if you saw on the link that Lee showed you, it was like apply today, right? And so we were vetting people to make sure, you guys, that there were people that put like really good quality content and stuff out there. And if you just do auto posts, like try to find auto curated content and post it, it's just not going to do anything for you. This is a situation where I tell my clients, I go, look, you cannot become an influencer or a thought leader to your ideal customer prospects on LinkedIn by getting articles from an article farm, or getting articles like from, because they don't, it's your information, your interpretation of an article and stuff. Now I'll show you the inside of the area where it lays everything out, how to write 2 to 3 sentences, and you will be able to, basically be considered, that'll be considered like really good, high quality thought leadership type of content, basically.
Gloria,
so actually very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Can I talk about that a minute?
Yeah.
So guys, in case you're wondering if you need to be, Gary Vaynerchuk or Malcolm, I mentioned Malcolm Gladwell in this post, you don't. Okay. Thought leadership. Oh my God. Now you've actually got to be a whatever, right? You don't need to be a whatever. You can just be your normal everyday self. See this post here that got over 2,500 views. And by the way, my connections have skyrocketed from this. I've got people already connecting with me. I use a Calendly link in my business, people making appointments with me and all this stuff. I mean, so exactly, the rest of the stuff happened that needs to happen in a business, which started with this post. But look, I've got a link to a post about Facebook marketing, right? Facebook marketing has got a lot more inexpensive lately. I thought, I was on the internet. I post a lot of stuff like that. I mean, I read a lot of stuff like that. You can find this on, there's whatever you do, there's a world of blogs and stuff like that you can find interesting posts. In other words, don't make this hard, guys. This is not hard, okay? And anybody can do it. So I looked at that post. It took me about 4 nanoseconds. I looked at that post. I thought, man, that's pretty cool. I mean, I just, like all of y'all, I'm online, I'm reading stuff. I just flag stuff that I find interesting and save it for later. And so when I want to make a post, I just go back and find something cool that I flagged and look. Now, what I wrote is really very generic, okay? A little bit about me. I've run my own information marketing business past 10 years, blah, blah, blah. Check out this cool article that I found. The link's in the comments right here. And by the way, and then I have a little call to action, right? By the way, I'm Lee Cole. Check out my profile here on LinkedIn. And if we're not friends, reach out to me. Can y'all do that? Who here for some crazy reason could not do that? I mean, please let me know so that I can talk you back from the ledge. Because I guarantee you that anybody can do this. This is not hard. And it's not like, guys, don't put this up on a pedestal. like people tend to do. Don't make this hard,
Mhm.
okay? Keon says, I model your profile. Model my profile. I've got a great profile. By the way, who did I learn how to write profiles from? Oh, she's on the webinar with me. But anyway, Ake says Ake's a good old boy from Tennessee. He says even I could do this. Absolutely. So guys, this is not hard. Don't make this hard. This is not hard. This is something that anybody can do. It's just that if you do it, look, did someone say digital marketing? Indeed they did. This article gives you some really cool pointers. Now look when I made this post. I made this post just a few hours later from when I made this post, and I did them on the same day, even though it says 2 days and three days, because I wanted to basically just have a test study. I wanted to say with and without, right? It's the same deal. It's the same deal, you know. I wrote a little more here just because I was being a little verbose, but you know, Gloria, there are plenty of people that just write a little snippet. And I think you say people should write a little more, but guys, don't go, you know, revisiting the horrors of high school English or something like this. Nobody gives a flip about stuff like that. Okay. All you got to do is just say, hey, I read this. It's cool. You got the articles in front of you guys. Just take a couple of tips from the articles. It's got some cool tips. I read it. It really helped me out. Here's the article. You know, let me know what you think. By the way, connect with me. How hard is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Gloria, besides, you have phenomenal training. When I went through your training, what did I do? I texted you actually on the phone and said, what? What did I say?
Yeah, you were like, this is like the most amazing training that I've seen on this. And Alexandra is our COO over at Beep2B. She did all of the training. She is absolutely phenomenal. It's really, really high quality. Yeah. So
it's
breaks
incredible.
everything down. And I'll show you the inside of the area in just a few. So
see what else we got. Hang on, we had like 40 zillion comments since I started talking. John Brown, starting with 0 followers, can I ramp this up quickly with 0 followers? John, you're going to need some followers, right? But actually, this is going to help you get followers. And Gloria, you and I are doing some bonus training with this that's going to help them out a lot. So, John, we got you covered. We got you covered.
Yes, we do.
Richard says, do I have to submit an application and get approved before I can buy in, or did I misunderstand? Richard, just look. I don't know, Gloria. Richard, look. Richard, I'm putting the link in here for you, buddy. Okay, and I know you're already there, but I'm just, you know, showing everybody. The link takes you to here, to this page, which is just a little summary page. And then when you click on that, it's going to, well, let's do it again. It's going to take you to the Beep Together page for the product. And then you click where it says sign up here. And now you pay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, look, I've ordered it twice here. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so somebody needs to clear out my cart. The price did not go up. The price did not double, guys.
Yeah,
it's still 99. It's just.
If you look there to where it says Beep Together, there's a little remove, the 99 down. Yeah, right there. Yeah, then you just remove. Yeah, the one. There we go.
No, the price did not go up that fast. I mean, it will after a while, but not today. But no, it's still 99. But that's what you got going. Steve is in. Good decision.
Yeah.
Richard, the promo code, it's already in there. I mean, you're getting the deal. You've got the deal. The deal's baked into it. It's $99 for a year, as opposed to $49 or $600 a year, because that added up to $600. Diana's in. Y'all are making the right decisions, guys. Rick's got a question. Are you focusing on a particular niche? You know, Matthew, you and your friends across the pond have totally screwed up my English, by the way. I don't know whether to say niche or niche, but anyway, Rick, let's try this again. Are you focusing on a particular niche? So the posts are relevant to people in the system. I think he means so they're relevant to the crowdsourced people. I think, but
Uh,
I'm not sure.
yeah, that's actually a really good question. So, um, you want your content to be viewed by, like I was mentioning earlier, and I don't mean to say like, oh, high quality people, like they're, like I'm just talking about from a LinkedIn perspective. They have, they're professionals that are viewed as professionals on LinkedIn. I think that's really important. And so eventually, the beauty of this is that as we get more and more members of this crowdsourcing situation, we are going to have different, kind of specialization of these posting parties, so that you can join, all hours of the day, basically, day and night, to accommodate, like, we've got clients all over the world. So like to accommodate those over in like Singapore and Australia and stuff like that. So yes, it will be refined, but I have not noticed, and there is not really an issue with just getting high quality people to engage with your posts. LinkedIn actually loves that and gives you a lot of love for that.
Exactly. Stephen just signed up. Stephen, you and I know each other really well, and I know a fair amount about your business. And this is going to take your business, and it's literally like pouring jet fuel onto a campfire. That's exactly what this is going to do.
Yeah, because it's not only the visibility that you're going to get, it's the perception that you are a like a mini influencer, a thought leader, and so it's always good whenever you have your content and you've got people that are engaging with it. Then the impression is, wow, they've got a following, they've got people engaging with them. They must be a thought leader, right? I remember when I was first teaching, and I had one of my mentors. He'd say, Gloria goes, if you sound good, and then what do they say? Then they say, you sound good, you look good, then you must be good, right? And so it's kind of that situation. If you look like an influencer and you act like one with the content that you're posting, then what's the assumption that you are one and you get treated as such? Any
All,
more
all, all of what
questions?
Gloria just said. I'm just sitting here typing out answers
Mm-hmm,
to questions.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Uh, let's see what else we got in terms of, because oh, this is a great question. Diane has a great question. How long does it take to get ramped up, or is it based on how many posts you make? I've been wondering that too, Diane. I was literally so blown away with my few posts that I started using that, but I was wondering if it was going to get even better. Second question is, how many posts is recommended for LinkedIn per day or week?
Yeah, that's a great question. So what's going to happen is you will start to see a very high percentage. It'll be, like I said, minimum of 5x. I've seen as high as 10 to 30x the amount of engagement that you normally would have. LinkedIn likes to see activity. And so if you do this regularly, what'll happen is where before you would get a post that might get like 2 to 3, say you might get like 1 or 2 people or 3 people that would engage with it, where maybe a while ago you would only gotten like 100 or 50 or whatever views. Just by the continuity and doing it regularly and building up your influence, those posts automatically do more. Like I have a post that I got. I was testing when we were in beta, and I did what you did, Lee, to see what would happen if I don't get any, if I don't submit it to the posting party. And it got like, I think 2 comments, 2 likes, and 600 views. Well, a couple years ago, I wouldn't have gotten that, right? Because I wasn't doing it regularly and stuff like that. So it does build up. It's like putting an investment in the bank, basically.
I just logged into my members area of Beep Together because who wanted to know about somebody wanted to know about where the training was, and I apologize. With all the comments zooming by, I lost you. But anyway, you get inside here, and well, let's just go through the whole thing. Here's the training, by the way. So there. Now, guys, there are several videos, but they're short and sweet. And I have been literally, I used to be a high school teacher. I have created training products for the past 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
This is literally, no joke, some of the best training I've ever seen ever. All right. It makes total sense. Start at the top, work your way down to the bottom. It's not going to take you that long, but each of these is done so clearly and so well. So if you want to, a lot of people are asking how the software works and the crowdsourcing and all that. So, well, here's Monday. So let's say that I want to notice I've got 3, Gloria calls them post parties, that I can go to this week, right? And if I want to go to this post party, I just click that, and I'm going to register. I'm just going to go ahead and register, Gloria, since I'll do it anyway.
Yeah.
So it tells me when it is, and this is, I'm guessing, in my time, right?
Yeah,
I mean, this is in my time.
12 Eastern. It's in Eastern. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm just going to register, and we'll add that to my I'll just leave this open. We'll add that to my calendar later on. Actually, I'll just re-register. But anyway, add it to your calendar and you're good, right? And then what it does is 30 minutes, what is it? 30 minutes before the actual post party, you get an email from the software that says, you registered for a post party. Now, make sure your content is posted on LinkedIn. And so then you post it, and then 30 minutes later, you get another email. You're being prompted by Beep Together, by the software. You get another post that says, hey, the post party has started, and you have 2 hours. So you have a window of 2 hours. Now, the why 2 hours, Gloria can explain that, but what you've explained to me, Gloria, is that that's what triggers the algorithm, right?
That's right. Yes.
It's all of that concentrated liking and posting and all that stuff and commenting. So you got 2 hours to, and you get an email of, I don't know, 10 or 15 little posts there. And what I do is I just right click and open them all up on my computer. The first time I did it on my phone, it took a little longer on my phone, not too long. And I just sit there. It doesn't take long if you're sitting there thinking about, just like concentrating and not multitasking, but 10, 15 minutes, just commenting, you're just, looking at what they posted, making some intelligent commenting, hitting a like, move on, right? That's all you got to do.
And don't forget, Lee, that I'm actually going to be doing a guided posting party with everybody that purchases. So all you literally have to do is get on the webinar with me at one of these posting party times. It'll be next week. I think it'll probably be Monday or Wednesday, literally at that time. And we're going to do it together. So it's not like you have to do it. I'll share my screen.
So guys, let's go over the bonuses. Gloria literally hit me up about this last week, and because you and Mike have been talking about how you can help people with the coronavirus and all that stuff. And this is such a beautiful gesture. And then you hit me up and ignore that guy. That's my dog. But anyway, you hit me up and I said, man, this is amazing. Let me try it out, right? And then I tried it out, and I expected good results. I like we said when we began, I've known you and Mike for, close to 10 years, right? But I expected good results, but I was completely blown away. And so then we said, man, I got to take this to people on my list, because this is, to my mind, a must-have piece of software. It's a must-get opportunity. We are, however, adding some bonuses. This is why you're not seeing, what I'm explaining in my own really long-winded way, is why you're not seeing a really long, slick-looking sales letter.
Yeah.
Because, we're not really long, slick-looking sales letter people, right? Bonus 1, a guided posting party. So Gloria's going to walk you through the whole thing and, give you all her tips and, techniques and little tricks. Number 2, Q&A webinar. So go to the post party. I would suggest you start posting a couple of times, and then the Q&A webinar, right? And then you get the complete training portal. And both of us are completely interested in helping you have excellent results with this. I am personally experimenting with a lot of different things. If you will notice that my first, my first post, now granted, I jacked up the first post, okay, I just did. I was multitasking and not following the instructions. So we're not gonna talk about that one. That was my fault. This post actually just goes out to a piece of, like I showed you. I mean, it's an interesting piece of content. This one, however, and I'm playing around with this, and I got some more things that I'm playing around with, and I'll be more than happy to share the results because I'm measuring and tracking all of this stuff. This one's actually going to, it's going to actually a little funnel for a product that I represent right here. All right, and we're going to go here and we're going to see how many people click and look at this video and click that link down there and then take the next step, right? So I'm experimenting with a lot of different things, and I'll be more than happy to fill you in on the results of those experiments. But I can tell you right now, this is a massive tool. Done right, guys, you can start making money with this tool immediately.
Yeah.
And Gloria, in so many different ways. I mean, you could have clients, you could send people you can build a list, right? I mean, how easy would that be? If you got 2,500 people looking at your thing, how easy is it to dial this in and build a list, like a huge honking list in a given niche, right? That allows you to market to that list. This could, and it doesn't have to be, so many people on this webinar are local marketing people, but that list does not have to be a local marketing kind of list. I mean, it could be a list about anything, an e-com list or anything, right? But I mean, LinkedIn has, 600-700 million people in it, right? I mean, you literally cannot screw this up. Another thing, Gloria, and I was talking to you about this before we started the webinar. Can we talk a little bit about who's actually seeing? I mean, these 2,500 people obviously these views are more people than the post party, because the post party is only like, 13, 14, 15 people. But can you expand, not that one, but this one, can you expand a little bit about who these 2,500 people would be?
Yeah.
I mean, where do they come from?
Yeah, so it's going to be people that are in your network and people that you are engaging with on LinkedIn. And the people, as a result of what I call that downwind effect, that someone comments and then, their network gets notified, and then it draws some of them to take a look to say, oh, what did Lee comment on? So it's a combination of those. It is not just impressions. Like just, people actually scrolling, that's a little bit different. It's actually a view. And it's so it is people that are looking and they actually see your content. So it's going to be people in your network. So whoever your network consists of, some of those. And then I think a priority goes to, we don't know the algorithm, like it doesn't say X percentage are going to be the people that you're engaging with in messaging. But I have noticed, and I've noticed for my clients, because we do a lot of the message management for them, that it kind of goes full circle. So they go, people that I'm messaging and talking to are actually seeing my content, which is fantastic. So yeah, so that's kind of who gets to see it, are people in your network, people that you're engaging with, and then the downwind, who gets notifications of other people commenting, engaging on your posts. And then anybody, of course, that might share it or something like that, they would, another set of notifications come out and all that type of thing. LinkedIn very, very, very much tries to drive eyeballs to content. So any activity, if somebody likes your post or if anybody shares it or comments on it, they're letting everybody else in that network know about it to drive more eyeballs to it, because they want the advertising dollars. That's really all it is about to them.
Yeah, that makes total sense. So I just did a little quick calculation while you were talking. So if you got 15 people in your post party, I mean, just even rough numbers, you got 15 people in your post party, and those people have, they're just connected to 500 people apiece. which is pretty small, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you have 7,500 people right there who are going to have the opportunity to see this, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it multiplies, guys. It does a ton and ton of stuff. George says, George, I don't have LinkedIn Premium at the moment. I tend to bounce back and forth between the two. Look there where it says reactivate Premium.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get Premium for a couple of months and then build up my list and stuff. And then I, don't feel like paying for it for a while because I got what I needed out of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Diane says, how unique do posts have to be in LinkedIn? Or is that not something to worry about? Um,
Yeah, that's a really
yeah,
good,
what do you
that's a
think?
good
That's a good
question.
question.
It's a fantastic question because for those of us that have come in the duplicate content space and used to have to get like the content duplicate content checker
Yeah.
and all that type of spin content to make sure that it's unique. So really, if the content has been posted before, but you give like your little unique spin on it, like say, and so say there's a piece of content that Lee did and I shared it. And when I shared it, it would be a duplicate of that content, right? Because it's the same content being shared over. But when I share it, I might add just a few words. This is really great from my buddy Lee. I share it, and then if you see it, and then you share it, and then you do another, yeah, I agree. This was really a fantastic,
Yeah.
share or something like that. That technically is duplicate content, but it's your unique perspective on it. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't have to be this long drawn out analysis. It's, I've shared stuff that said, this is fantastic. I thought I'd want to pass it on, something that simple, not a problem.
William wants to know if he can use this from his Mac.
Oh yeah, because it's cloud-based and it's
Yeah.
LinkedIn. It's not like a Mac and a PC thing. What you do is you log into that portal, and then we've had our programming team, our developers really did a fantastic job and made this process automated to where we notify you. So you get this series of notifications that let you know who, what, where, when, why, when to post, when it's going to start, when it's over, so you don't have to worry about that type of thing. You can just, and we do it because it is a timed thing. It's not like if you post and then wait a week and go and like it, it's not going to have the same effect. Remember that algorithm I talked about at the very beginning, they want to see that action in the first 2 hours. And so what we've done is we provide that mechanism through our platform of making that, kind of artificially making that happen so that you get the view. So LinkedIn goes, wow, people are really engaging with this thing. I better show it to more people. That's what we want to have happen, right? And we've tested this and everything on exactly what the tipping point is and stuff. And that's why we've set the program up exactly how it is, because it's designed to give you maximum number of effectiveness by doing the most minimal amount of work that we can, basically.
So really, that's one thing that the software does outside of just crowdsourcing is it's enforcing these best practices, and it's enforcing what you and Mike have learned through testing, so that you actually can tip the algorithm in your favor. So guys, there's a ton of stuff going on behind the scenes that you and I don't even know about. I don't even want to know about it. I just like using it because I'm blown away by getting 2,500 views on something. Stephen wants to say, ask, when you say network, do you mean just their first degree connections and followers, or do you mean more people? When you were talking about who sees this and all that stuff.
Yeah. So it's not necessarily just the first degree connections. It'll be, some second degree connections. I don't think it's very many third degree connections, but it consists of that network, mainly first and second level. The percentage of second level versus first level, it just kind of really, we don't have that information. LinkedIn's algorithm doesn't give you everything so that we can game their algorithm. But I have seen a ton where my expanded network, people that I'm not really connected with except second level, are seeing and commenting on some of my content. So it does happen.
Yeah, that one that I showed where I got 2,500 views, a lot of those were second level connections. Now, in the interim, I reached out to those people and thanked them for commenting, and they connected with me. I mean, they became first level connections. So in other words, that's a good thing to do, using this to build your connections, et cetera, et cetera. Lindsay, do people who are part of the post party actually write good comments, or are they spammy? Gloria, you mind if I answer that one?
Oh, please do. Yeah, that's a
Well,
great.
Lindsay, I mean, the training goes into the fact that you don't want to just copy and paste like, hey, good, hey, dude, good post. Hey, dude, good post. Hey, dude, good post, right? You know, and I'm noticing that the comments that I get are generally well thought through. I mean, is someone actually going to sit there and read the whole thing and like, you know, write me an the antithesis back? No, not necessarily. But I mean, it's okay. It's fine for social media. I mean, you know, so I didn't look at the comments that I got as spammy. And the training teaches people not to, but I think if you did get a spammy one well, look, nobody's doing just egregious spamming like, you know, go click on this website, you know, and it's a porn website or something. Nobody does that because frankly, and Gloria, there's another thing that happens after the post party where you can grade
Yeah,
you know, the content. And
yeah.
you know, if somebody's sitting there and just trying to game the system for something utterly ridiculous, Lindsay, pretty soon they're going to get kicked out of the whole deal. So there's that, right? So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was very impressed with that personally.
Yeah, there is a community because we want to keep the quality good, but you know what you also want to remember is the stuff that you write about, that what you post, that in and of itself is not the entirety of your quote unquote thought leadership, opinions, insights, whatever you want to call it. People look at everything you do online, and part of it too is the way that you comment and your insight on those things. So that's that downwind approach, that you know your insights are not just the posts. And so I do try. I don't spend a lot of time and do like these long drawn out, you know, intense, you know, comments, but I do something more than just oh great, fantastic. I just said that's really some great insights as usual. Something that indicates that I did peruse, and I don't do
Yeah.
in-depth reading. Again, this is a 10 to 15 minute thing, you know, Lee's doing about 10 minutes. It takes me like 20 minutes just to go through and, you know, very quickly peruse it and then be able to say, I can comment somewhat intelligently on it, you know, from a, you know, somewhat superficial level, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah, George. George says, can you post a video giving your thoughts on an article and stuff like that? That's exactly what we're talking about.
That's
What
exactly
people
right.
sometimes call curated content. In other words, here's my post, and I just said a few words about this, and then I said, you know, go down the comments, and you know, here's the actual link to the article right there. So that's the article itself. Putting the link in the comments is just a best practices thing that you learn, frankly, in Gloria's great training. So George, yes, in other words, you don't have to be the person who sits there and creates all the great content. You just go find it. And all guys, don't, you know, like, don't make an issue out of that. Okay. I mean, don't sweat and say, oh my God, is this post better than that one? Look, find a post that's interesting. They're all over the internet. I mean, you're interested in digital marketing, go to, you know, search engine watch. You're interested in health and wellness stuff, go to WebMD. I mean, go somewhere and find an interesting thing and just say, hey, I just read this. It was really cool. I was a little confused on this subject. How about you? What do you think? By the way, my name is so-and-so. Reach out to me. That's really all you're doing. That's really all you're doing there. Mark Rhodes, it is so good to have you on a webinar again, buddy. I'm going to read Mark's great comment and question actually in its entirety. Mark is a doctor and a software guy with 10,000 connections trying to help My hurting doctors go virtual for their patients. Laudable thing to do right now. Their patient visits are dropping. How will this help me? You want to talk about that, Gloria?
Yeah, so it helps you connect and present yourself as a figure of authority to your ideal customer prospects. All right. And so if you're communicating and interacting with your ideal customer prospects on LinkedIn, then they're the ones that are going to see your content and stuff like that. And then what it does is when they see your content, they basically are going to probably be interested in what you have to offer them, and then you can have the conversation about how you can help them. So it's about presenting more opportunities to you, right? Is the software going to automatically, or the platform automatically going to make the physicians be drawn to you? No, I mean, I don't know what the calculation is, how many of them are on LinkedIn and stuff, but definitely if they're on LinkedIn, they're going to see you a lot more visible, and they're going to see you as a person of influence, a person that they should listen to.
Yeah, exactly. Good answer. Let's say, hang on. Yep, Keon, don't worry about that. That was all in the training. The thing about putting the link in the comment section. Let's see
Yeah,
what
that
else
just
we got.
helps. Yeah, it helps so you don't get any
A little,
devaluation.
yeah, just a little, just and believe me, the training. I was blown away by the training. I was blown away that they could impart so much information so clearly that I could actually, because I tend to multitask, which is not good for me, but that I could actually follow it and actually do it, and because I get distracted, and
Yeah,
I thought, damn, this is good. I'm impressed.
yeah,
Let's
yeah.
go. I'm just going back up here through comments. Elias is in, awesome. Robert
hmm
Castillo, can we use this for clients? What about that, Gloria?
Yeah, that's actually a really good question. I can tell you that we are in the process, once this gets rolled out, of doing something more of a client type of portal. You can. That's perfectly fine. If you do, just notice that it doesn't have like an agency where you can log in with the different clients. So it's a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you. It might be a little bit clunky. But you can do it, no problem. We have members in there doing it for their clients all the time, not a problem. What you would do is you would just make sure that you would log in. I mean, you would submit your client's link, and then as your client on LinkedIn, make sure that you're commenting as them, not as you, basically. And then you can do it, and they'll get all the juice, no problem. So you can use it as an income generator as well.
Gloria, is English the only language that you could do this commenting and thing in? I mean, could you do it in, for instance, French or German?
You could, but I think it would. Right now, we don't have any second language posting parties, and so there might be a disconnect if you see everything in English and then someone posting in a non-English language. It might be a disconnect and look a little odd is the only thing. So.
Yeah, I'll tell you something's interesting because I was reading, I speak French and I was reading some articles in French and on LinkedIn. And then I noticed that I started to, and I'm connected with some, French speaking people. I noticed I started seeing more stuff, right? And I'm like, man, that's kind of crazy. There's a whole world out there of non-English speakers, or rather people who are doing business in other languages.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't think that it would be too long before
hmm
one might expand into that area.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see what else we got. The calendar for the posting parties, is that always in Eastern Standard Time? Stephen is in Hawaii and he just wants it. He wants to know if he needs to think about it in Oahu time or does he have to think about it in New York time?
So it shows up like if it says 12, that is in Eastern time, but when you add it to your calendar, always register and add it to your calendar. And whenever you do, it'll show up in your time. and the time that you have your calendar set for. That's what I do because I'm in Central Time, and then I just have add it to my calendar, and then it just tells me, 30 minutes before and stuff like that. So.
Thelma's got a very specific question. Lee, can we use this for a certain business that we're in? Thelma, the answer is absolutely, and just hit me up separately about that. I mean, you know all how to get hold of me, and I will show you some really cool stuff. Okay. Frank says, how many posts per day is optimal? Frank, you like when you're looking in the software. Okay, so it's a post party, so you're looking at 1, 2, 3 posts per posting opportunities here. That'd be 3 this week, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. It's right now because you have to have enough people in the posting parties. We like to have around 15 or 16. That's when we see as the tipping point. And so which means that you're not going to really get that much more juice with 17, 18, 19, 20. So why make you do all the work and clicking and liking if you don't have to, right? And so a post will go ahead and have a little bit of longevity for a couple of days. So you don't have to do posts like every day if you don't want to. When I'm doing them, anywhere from once or twice a week. If you really want to gain exposure quickly and really have this go on steroids, then do 3 times a week for a couple of weeks for about a month and see how you do. It'll be a whole new world.
Well, that's actually what I'm doing. But let me tell you something. I think it's Frank that asked that question. Let me tell you something, Frank. Done right. I mean, I got so much out of that post that went viral. In other words, again, the first one I did, I screwed up. That's on me. That's my bad. The second one worked like gangbusters. Looks like the third one's working like gangbusters. But I got so much out of that second one in terms of people contacting me and all that stuff. I mean, just for a few days, I was sitting there messaging and talking and, just sending people my Calendly link and all that stuff just from that one post. So
yeah,
if you did this, even if you could do it several times a day, I don't even think you're going to have really the time to even deal with what would come out of that. I mean, you would be literally creating a monster.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Mark says, I'm not home right now. I'll jump in tonight. Awesome, buddy. If you got any questions, you know how to get hold of me. Just hit me up. George says, could this help someone self-employed in health and safety management? In other words, I don't even know what health and safety, I mean, I can guess, George. I'm not really sure what that means, but could it help someone self-employed? Let's put it like this, Gloria. Could it help someone who is self-employed in a non-digital marketing type business? Let's say in a little more traditional business, like an accountant, like a I don't know, a divorce attorney or something like that.
Yeah, that's a really, really good question. And it does. For part of what I offer to my clients is, and part of the thing that they have to do if they want to work with me is they have to agree to attend at least one posting party a week. And I can tell you, so my clients are, I've got a CMO, the businesses that she serves are 20 million to 200 million. She doesn't do the C-suite. But she goes in there, and whenever they're doing a new product launch, a business to consumer, actually widget launch, and they want to know an online strategy and how to position that new widget or that new product, then she goes in there. So that's very online related. And then I have a client, an IP attorney, and that's non-online related. I have a client that's an MSP provider, managed service provider. So he goes in with people that have like 50 or 100 seats, and desktops or whatever, servers and stuff. And he does these like provides those services. So it very much works. And again, that's one of the things they literally sign, that they agree to have to attend one posting party per week because it's just so powerful.
Heidi, so basically Heidi's saying, so Do you just post and then sit there and see what happens, or what do you do? Let me show you a couple of things, Heidi. Number one, and again, it goes over this in the training.
Mm-hmm.
You need a call to action. You need to tell people what to do next, right? And so for me, I was telling people just to reach out to me on LinkedIn. All right. So you need to tell people the next step. In the second post that I did, the one up here, I have a link to a funnel. And that funnel, at some point after you see the first little video, you have the opportunity to see a longer video, and there you have an opt-in. So I'm telling people what to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
But just from that, you get so much stuff out of this. I mean, in other words, you're in the posting party, right? So you are posting on other people's posts, other people are posting on your posts. That creates this enormous amount of stuff in your notifications here. And you can reach out to these people, and you can reach out to people like let's say, and I haven't read it, but let's say this guy Philip posted something, and then I posted on that, and somebody else posted on that, or somebody responded to my comment. Now you got a whole world of people who've seen you somehow interact with something. And so that's what I was doing for the next couple of days, is I was just going through notifications and stuff and just reaching out, actively to those people. Now I haven't reached out to Philip, but just say, hey, thanks for the comment on my post. And then you're back, Gloria, then you're kind of back into the old LinkedIn thing of looking at their profile, saying something intelligent, finding commonalities. I mean, you're trying to build a relationship there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, go ahead.
If I share my screen, I've actually got my emails
please.
up with the posting party notifications. So
yeah, please.
Yeah, let me go ahead, and
Here,
if you want,
I'll make you the presenter.
Okay, thanks. Okay, here we go.
There we go.
All right, excellent. So you go in right to the Beep Together. You would log into the Beep Together, and then you're going to see, like here, I have my post that I actually did do, and you can see how many smileys and stuff like that. This is not the engagement. This is people in the community in the Beep Together posting party. Did they like it? That type of thing. And then you've got the calendar, right, which shows when the posting parties are going to happen. And you can, excuse me, sorry about that. And you can just kind of, go week to week. So you register, and then just like Lee showed, it'll add to your calendar. And then you have all of the training. So you have to click on the training, and then you see all the training. And then once you do the training, what's going to happen, and you sign up and you register, then on the day of the posting party, and I want you to see the ones that I've got kind of starred, because those are the ones that I'm going to show. So the first thing you're going to get is this one that's going to say basically a posting party is starting in just 30 minutes, right? And what that does is that is my signal that I go, oh, I better make sure that I have my post ready and the image ready and all that type of stuff. You can unregister at that time if you want to, but that's my notification that I got 30 minutes. If I haven't gotten my post together, I better do it really quickly. And then what happens is we've got at the time that the posting party actually starts, it says a posting party is about to start. Click to join the posting party. When you click this, what it is it's just a form, and that's where you go to LinkedIn and you submit your link. So like just say, for example, let me go to my news feed, and let's just say I posted this today and I was going to do the posting party today. What I would do is I would go ahead and I post it, and then I would go ahead and I would grab the link. All right, and I copy link. All right, and then I'd go back here, and when I click on this link, it says put in your link now, and then I would just drop the link in and then hit send. All right, and then so then what happens is the next email I'm going to get is going to say the party has started. You've got 2 hours to participate, and then it gives me everybody that I'm supposed to engage with. That's all I want to do. And so how I do it very quickly is I click, 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 and open them all up against my browser. And then I just start, one right after the other. I go through and then I just start making, reading and then making comments. As soon as I'm done, I close that tab, and then I go to the next one, do the same thing. And then this way I know that I've gotten all of them. And so that's all you do, right? And then, I usually don't, if it's a decent, I usually just don't really do a lot with that, except if it's, if it's a really horrible post, which I've never seen one, then I would report it. But if it's just like a matter of my opinion, I'm totally cool with it, right? We all do what we got to do. And then when that is over, so after, the 2 hours are over, and by this time, once I've done this, so once I've like click, 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 and did all my thing, to me, in my mind, I am done. It is over. I move on to the next item on my list to knock out, right? But then what happens, so I go about my business, and then about 2 hours later, I'm going to get this notice, and it's going to say, that's all, the party's over. Here's everybody that you should have engaged with for this particular posting party. So that's pretty much how it works, basically. Mm-hmm.
Once you get it down, it's actually pretty easy. It doesn't take but a couple of times before you really get in the swing of things.
Yeah. And I saw someone in here that had a question, Lee, and it was almost like about link diversity. Like if you only have 15 people in, how do you ensure? There was some question, I forget who said it.
Basically, it was somebody fairly recently was talking about, in other words, is it always the same people in the post party, or do you get new people in the post party, randomized? How does that work?
I am so glad that you asked that question, because this is the differentiator, okay? People have been kind of doing this type of thing called a pod. The problem is, and I had a pod myself, I had a Slack pod, and what happened is you do not have link diversity, okay? If LinkedIn sees the link coming from the same Facebook group, you drop in all your posts and then you click right from there to LinkedIn, then they see a pattern. And then what they started doing, and I've noticed it, is that they devalue the number of views. They will just penalize you a little bit. They're not going to put you in LinkedIn jail. You're just not going to get that many views. And so the beauty of this system is that we have taken care of all of that. So we've got rotating. You're like not in the same posting party as other people, so you get link diversity, right? That's what helps build your influence. You're not going to be in the same posting party with the same people each week. It's always rotating. That's what's behind the curtain, okay? That's what our developers worked hours and hours, and we spent thousands upon thousands of dollars building this, is so that we could have that type of diversity, and that so say we've got, I don't even know how many people are in, a couple hundred, several hundred, I'm not sure. I really don't do much with B2B from an operational point of view anymore. But so what'll happen is you will not have the same people in there, and you are expanding your reach because it's not the same people that are engaging with your content, if that makes sense. That means more views, more exposure, yada, 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 all of the above.
So, Gloria, it looks like Steve bought this, but he's having some issues getting into the account or something like that. Can you give him a
yes
a way to get hold of you?
Yes, I'm going to go ahead and give you my email, and then you can contact me. Let me see.
We'll get you straightened out, Steve.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know. Am I not? Okay, I haven't done this in a while. I apologize with GoToWebinar. Here we go. Let me go ahead and put, I've got it.
It's called questions. Just pull questions out, or.
Yeah, there we go. So I'm putting my email in. Steve, go ahead and contact me, and I'll take care of it for you. We'll see what's going on.
Trevor's got a really good question, and basically sounds like Beep Together could saturate I mean, do you have a limit on membership? And if too many people join, won't the post parties become a scramble for who gets in? You want to
Yeah,
speak to that?
that's a fantastic question. And you'll see it on the, guess how many, there's a very big discrepancy between the number of people actually posting on LinkedIn and the number of eyeballs on the content on LinkedIn. I think there's like 1 million people posting and 9 million eyeballs on the post on the newsfeed on LinkedIn, something like that. And so LinkedIn, I would absolutely love it if this thing was like maxed out with 100,000 or 200,000 people. You know why? Because it's all about more content. And then if we're getting more content that's more relevant content and people are viewing it, because we already got the eyeballs, we got 9 billion eyeballs looking at the LinkedIn content. Only 1 million people are actually posting. So there's a mega opportunity to get your content out there. So Lee, you're the mathematician, I'm not, but the potential to be saturated with those numbers.
It's just, I mean, Trevor.
I don't think you could reach enough people. You know what I'm saying?
Trevor, I'm going to be in the nursing home by the time it saturates. Let me just put it to you that way.
Yeah.
I mean, it would. That's just
Exactly.
not going to happen with these numbers, and then you have a base number of users of something like 600 or 700 million. Some shocking number actually do log into LinkedIn once a month, and another shocking, and I've forgotten the numbers, but another shocking number logs in once a day. So I guess, in theory, Trevor, it could, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah. Robert had a good question about, do we post only during the post parties? I do content distribution, so I use like a Hootsuite type of program. I use Social Bee just because I like the interface. My campaign manager does all that for me and does my posts. Well, I like to do that because it does still get some eyeballs. And it helps with the overall, like I look at my number of views and impressions on a month, like on a 30-day basis. But what I am noticing is the stuff that I'm using like Social Bee to post with is really not getting that much views and engagement. But the more that I do the posting parties and then the more that I do the Social Bee stuff, it helps it. So it actually makes it that much stronger. So you don't have to only do the posting parties. You can do more posts, just like Lee is doing. He's testing stuff out. That's what I do, test stuff out, see, what's the maximum, type of stuff that works, all that.
Well, I post stuff every day, and that's fine. I'm just, realize that the posting parties are going to end up getting more people to see my other stuff anyway.
Yeah. Now, Doug asked a great question about multiple accounts to see I would need to buy multiple licenses for each of my clients or not. That's a really great question, Doug. And no. What'll happen is though you'll have to manage it because you're going to get these series of emails. And so when you submit, when we showed that other one where it shows you, please submit your link. I think it's this one. Yeah, this one. You're going to click on here, and when you click here, it's going to say submit the link. It needs to be the link of your client's post, and then what you would need to do is whenever you get the notification of the party has started, here's all the people, go, then you just want to make sure that you can have the capability to log in as your client and leave the comments and the likes as your client, because if not, then you'll get all the credit for it. They won't, basically. So that's all that you have to be really careful with. But no, we're not asking for multiple licenses or anything like that in this environment. If this is going to help you manage your clients by doing this, we're very happy to provide this medium to do that. So yeah.
Yeah, and again, this all happened because you and Mike were sitting around trying to figure out how you could help people.
Yeah, exactly. Again, our platform, because our software, our software is $299 for an individual license. So one user, and then as an agency, it's like $500, and for a lot of people starting out, it's cost prohibitive. Now, we did start out, incidentally, $99 a year, and we still honor that. people, some people have bought it, 6 years ago or whatever at $99, and we still honor that. So, but we know, and we can't offer that at $99. I mean, we've got a big, data center infrastructure. We've got tech support. We've got developers, you know what I'm saying, that work on it to make sure that it works all the time. So it's cost prohibitive for us to offer it at that price. But everybody that was grandfathered in is grandfathered in, so the only thing that we could do is, Mike had been building out this portal for several months, and this is something that we could do, and, offer it at a really reasonable rate so that people, were going to use it and then get something really beneficial out of it, basically.
Very cool.
Mhm.
Doug says, I can see this being a big add-on service to what I'm doing with my appointment setting service that I'm
Nice.
doing on. Huge, Doug, just huge. I mean, it's again, it's going to pour jet fuel on that little campfire. Of course, it may not be a little campfire that you have. It may be a big campfire, in which case you're going to have you're going to have a whole, conflagration. So very, very cool.
Yeah.
Trevor, yeah, it turns out that I might not have understood Trevor's question about, the getting saturated. He's saying, you said there are 15 people in the post party as a tipping point. So let's say that Beat Together has 1,000 members, and so who gets to go to the post party and all that? I mean, how do you have, in other words, do you have plans for making this work for when you have more than just some number of people? In other words, like multiple post parties, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have them like, segmented by, different fields, different areas of expertise, different time zones and stuff. But what you have to remember is that just because you're getting this list, it doesn't mean that if Lee is at the same posting party, he's getting this same list. He's, he could be getting a list of 15 other
Right.
people that are in a different posting party. It's all behind the scenes, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed just in my limited experience with this that is absolutely true. Yeah, they're it's not the same people. It's not like that same group. And I think you kind of talked about that when you were talking about the link diversity and all that stuff, Yeah.
Yeah, it's all kind of like rotating behind the scenes. If you can imagine, it's like this little knob that, it's like every tick is like another 15 people, even though it might be around the same time. But yeah, we are going to be expanding it out to all hours of the day and night. To, once we get like enough people from Australia and stuff like that, we'll start having pods, posting parties, different time zones, different areas of expertise. Mm-hmm.
And so, Steve Schulman, I think that kind of speaks to your question of, is it always going to be the same time zone and all that stuff? No, as this thing grows, then, what Gloria said. But it has to be timed because everybody's got to get on, it's a crowdsourced thing. Everybody's got to get on at approximately the same time and do their thing. That's what kicks off the LinkedIn algorithm. But yeah, Trevor's signing up. Trevor, that's a good decision. But Trevor, you know where I am, and I know where Gloria is. So if you got any questions, let me know.
Yep. And yeah, we're going to be doing a guided posting party. I think it's probably going to be either next Monday or Wednesday. And then I'll do a Q&A webinar, and anything you want to ask me about, strategy, whatever, I'm happy to share with you. So
yeah. I think, Rick, the posting party is really, if I'm understanding that question correctly, it's really more like walking you through what you're doing and explaining it. Yeah.
Yeah, in live time, I'll be attending the posting party, and you'll see what I'm doing, the type of content that I'll be posting, where I got it from, that type of thing. And I'm extremely busy. I run a team with like, I think 6 people we have, and we're all busy servicing clients and stuff like that. So I like the quickest path to results, basically. So I'll give you as many quick tips that don't dilute the results.
And we will, we're going to be recording that, make that available. Couple of things. Doug, I'm going to save your question for a minute because that's a little longer answer. Jane, thank you so much. Jane says, I signed up right away as this is what I was looking for. My new content generation to be seen as an expert. Thank you. I owe you. Well, Jane, thank you so much for that. Again, you know where we are. We're here to make this work. So look, guys, it is really easy to use, okay? But don't let something stop you. Just reach out to one of us. All of y'all can reach out to me. You got on here by, being on a mailing list. So reach out to me somewhere and we'll get you figured out. Doug says, any ideas? I love this question because I know I love where his mind is going here, Gloria. Any ideas on best practices of who would be best to reach out to on LinkedIn to offer the service to?
Yeah, that's a really, really good question. And what you want to do, when I work with clients, because part of the strategy is to help them identify their ideal customer prospects. And, I don't just flippantly, I don't want to give you, like, if you think, who are the people that needs content on LinkedIn? It's virtually just about everybody, right? But you really want to kind of narrow it down a little bit. Like, I don't want to say, oh, it's all plumbers, because then everybody will go after. And I'm just using that as an example, or all accountants or something like that. But look for this criteria, and maybe this will help you. It is folks that their livelihood depends on them being perceived as a thought leader, influencer. So it's probably most likely a B2B play, right? Somebody that is already out front and center in front of people, but not maybe getting a lot of the views or anything like that. So here, I'll just go ahead and give you a little bit of a hack. How's this? Can I do this?
Oh, you can do anything you want.
Okay, all right.
It's your webinar.
Yeah, this will probably help. This is a little bit of a pro tip.
Guys, if Gloria is giving a pro tip, I would be writing this down.
I'm just going to do a search, right? So in Sales Navigator, let's see, I'm going to look for, second and third degree of mine, people I'm not connected with. Let's just say, I'll pick a couple of different services, right? Maybe marketing and advertising, financial services. I'm going to do United States because I'm here in the United States. And then what I would do, so you kind of have to look at how big are these companies? Are these going to be kind of the solopreneurs, or are they going to have a little bit bigger companies, right? And so you can kind of pull by company headcount, maybe try both right here. And then what I would do is I would probably hit privately held, or maybe self-employed, self-owned. Partnership would probably work as well. Okay, all right, so we've got plenty. Okay, you can do seniority level. We can even do title. So let's just say we're going to book author. How about if we do be coach? Those are two that I can think of right at the very beginning. Yeah, okay. This is just really not a good search. I got 1,200 results. Okay, so we look at this and we've got all these folks. These are the ones that have posted. If you click here, these are the ones that have posted on LinkedIn in the past 30 days. What I would probably do is go ahead and look and see, okay, let's look at his content. He's posted, that means he's active. Is this content getting any action? And if it's not, then maybe you could start a conversation, say, I noticed that you post a lot, but your posts aren't really getting, and I don't know if his posts are getting action or not. I'm just using that as an example. All right, so that's a way to do that, is you would see people that have posted, but maybe their posts are not getting a lot of, action or activity. And then that's their problem, and you've got an answer to their problem, basically. Okay.
So guys, just, yeah, thank you so much. But just to make this utterly clear, yes, Gloria, I believe you're using Sales Navigator. No, you do not need Sales Navigator. You can do everything that we're talking about with a free account. Yes. I currently have a free account. Gloria's just using the power of Sales Navigator to try to drill down and show you the types of businesses that you should be looking at. with a little more work, in
Mhm.
other words, it would take you a little longer. You can do plenty of searching through, your own contacts and people like that,
Mhm.
just with the free account.
Yeah,
And
we have filters here.
like
I'm
like
sorry,
like like like
I should have done it I'm just so used to going to, I'm sorry, I'm so used to going to Sales Navigator, but it's the same
no,
thing
it's
here.
okay. It's okay.
Yeah, you've got the industries, all that stuff too. And then you can do,
Yeah.
yeah,
In
searches
other
to do.
words, everybody on here can do the same thing.
Yep, yep, absolutely. Yeah, actually, I like some of these filters better than Sales Nav. So yeah, you definitely can. Okay, so hopefully that helped, that little bit of kind of the mental process that I go through, to see is somebody a good, ideal customer prospect or not for me.
Mark has a phenomenal question. And guys, we have been on here almost 2 hours. Glory, number one, just God bless you and thank you so much. And you've got to tell Mike how, and I know you probably already have because I already told you to, but you got to tell him how much I appreciate this.
Yes, yes,
This
definitely.
is a phenomenal offer that you're making to these guys at a time when they can really, really use it. And frankly, the people they're helping can use it.
Yeah.
So, with all of that said, Mark and Thelma want to know, what would you charge somebody per month just for this beeping service? Let's say you found a coach or a podcaster or somebody who wants to become an influencer. What would you charge for the beeping service? Say 3 beeps a week or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And you have to kind of decide, do I want to just have them are you going to produce their content for them, or are they going to produce it themselves? And if you produce it, then, obviously you can raise the price versus
Uh-huh.
them doing it themselves. And if you're going to do like a complete done for you, they literally don't have to do anything. You do everything for them. Just this posting piece is, gosh, I wouldn't touch it for under $500 a month. Yeah, I would not touch it for under 500 a month.
So just
If I was doing,
posting.
yeah, yeah. And if I was doing the content, I was doing it 3 times a week, we're probably talking, because that's a lot of work to come up with, pretty decent content. If
Yeah.
I was posting and managing their posting parties 3 times a week, I would not charge, and I was doing all the content for 3 times a week. That is like a $9.95 thing all day, every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
Easy.
content is really, and I tell my clients, because part of what we do is we do their positioning and content for them. And that's where I say, see how far you get with, trying to get an article farm in India or something like that. It's just, the quality isn't going to be there. They don't understand your business, that type of thing. So, yeah, and to get, for a business to get somebody in-house that knows their business intimately and can do that, they're going to be paying at least $4,000 or $5,000 a month, seriously, to get a good in-house person to do it.
Mm.
So $900 a month is like a steal.
Cool.
Yep.
Mark says that's good pricing for his clients. I would think so, Mark. I would think so.
Yeah.
Gloria, we got 2 minutes to the 2 hour mark. Again, I
Yep.
deeply appreciate your time. I know how busy you are. Guys, let's just, you got the link. There's a replay. We're sending it out. Okay. Give me like, oh, I got to run it through Camtasia and do some stuff. It'll be tonight before it really gets up online. And any questions, just reach out to me. Anybody have any, Christopher Wynn has this question. I sell a pay-per-click service to dentists. Would this work for something like that? I think
Yeah.
Christopher's talking about for Christopher getting
Yeah.
dentists into his world and asking him, hey, would you do that PPC service for me?
Yeah, yeah, we have digital marketing agencies that are doing, they're doing a pay per click. It's not to dentists, but it's to a different audience, like Facebook ads and different things, and they're using it to great success. Yeah. Absolutely, you've got your expertise. People need to know, your expertise. Yeah, it'll work. Yeah, and I'll see you guys for those, we'll be on the guided posting party. We'll put it in, I think Lee will send it out with the email when it'll be next week sometime.
Well, what we're going to do, guys, is because we just kind of rushed this out because Mike and Gloria had this great idea. They called me. I thought it was wonderful, and then we just rushed it out because I wanted to get it into your hands immediately. We do not have Gloria, when you buy, okay, we don't have Gloria's system hooked up with my system. So Gloria's going to have to send me a list of who bought every, evening or every morning or something on that order. When you buy, you're going to get access to Beep Together, but the bonuses and also when the posting parties and all that, communication that needs to happen between us, please give me until the following morning-ish in order to get that to you. You can guaranteed it's going to get to you. It's just that I have to enter you guys as a spreadsheet into our system so that we can communicate. So it's not quite as seamless as it usually is. I apologize for that. But again, I think, considering the price and the importance of you actually getting access to this, I think that should be okay. So with that little caveat, when you buy, you're going to get access to Beep Together. There's going to be more stuff coming from me, but give me morning. But then, Gloria, I don't get up as early as you do. So, you define morning however the hell you want to. I define it however I want to.
That's
my
right.
morning, it's going to be my morning. So that could be lunchtime. No, I'm joking. But you know what I'm saying. Just give me a little extra time. We will get for you every single thing that you need. And this is going to rock, guys. It's absolutely going to rock. You're the first. You're the first. Other than Gloria, people that Gloria and Mike have been using this with. This isn't something that you can buy from everybody. As a matter of fact, it's something that you can't buy from everybody except for me. So very cool stuff. Thank you so much, Trevor. Thank you, buddy. And Trevor, I'll see you on the mastermind on Thursday. And Gloria, I really, really appreciate everything. Thank you so much.
Oh, you bet. Thanks a lot. And thanks for your time, everybody. I appreciate it. Stay safe. We'll talk soon. All right. Bye-bye.